gentlemen, how's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, all right, come on. It's Friday night, you guys. How are you guys doing tonight? All right, cool. Awesome. Yeah, it's Friday, man. It's exciting. We have a cloth over the stool. Like, we're going to do a magic show. That's new to me. I'm going to... Somebody later on is going to put a vase of flowers on this and pull it off, and the vase is still going to be on there. It's hilarious to me. How you guys doing, man? You good? I asked you that already, didn't I? Yeah. All right. So, my name's Ben. I'll be your host tonight. Hey, how you doing? And you're Bob. Nice to meet you, Bob. All right. This is going to be a fun show with Bob here, you guys. We're going to have a good time. So... I'll tell you guys a little bit about my history so that you know. You know how when you're a little kid, you think your parents are the smartest people in the world and they have all the answers? And then you become a teenager and you think my parents were idiots, they didn't know what the hell they were talking about. And then you become an adult and you realize they were actually just pretty racist. Could be just me, no. My parents weren't really that bad. I'll tell you, the worst thing my parents ever did to me was when I was 3 years old, and we were at a carnival, and I had gotten this balloon that I thought was really cool. I really liked this balloon. And we're leaving the carnival, and I'm very excited about my balloon. My dad's carrying the balloon, and we're getting in the car. And before my dad gets in the car, he looks at me right in the face, and he just lets the balloon go. Yeah, it crushed me. I was 3 years old. It was the greatest thing I'd ever seen as a 3-year-old, this balloon. And it made me cry. I'm like, Dad, why didn't you let the balloon go? I love that balloon. Dad, why didn't you let it go? And my dad just said, someday you'll understand, son. And then 2 years later, he abandoned us. I was like, lesson learned, Dad. I understand now. I get where you're coming from. So that's a little bit about my history. So I'm excited to be here because it's Friday and I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Yes, you could please give it up for not having to go to work. Like, man, I don't know. But I got to wear this outfit to work today, which is cool. But it's such a scam. Like, Casual Friday, I just realized that it's these clever HR people came up with this idea to make you feel like I come home from work on Thursday and I'm like Mr. Rogers, like I'm putting on a sweater over my shirt and like Converses, like all right. Like I don't have to go do 8 more hours of soul-crushing office work tomorrow. And I realized like it's a dirty trick that they played, man, those guys. I'm like, but you know, I'm gonna complain about my job some more, so I hope you guys are ready for that. Like, I'm getting older, you know, and some of the stuff that goes with getting older is, like, the hair that used to grow on top of my head has somehow shrunken back inside of my skull and it now shoots uncontrollably out of my nose. I can't eat whatever I want anymore. I find the fact that the rapper Drake is younger than me to be absolutely infuriating. Like, it just makes me so mad. And I think the reason why is because he found a lot of success at a really young age. And I had to give up on my dreams of becoming a half Jewish, half black Canadian rapper and get this office job, which is like, it's the worst, man. Like, I'm not cut out for it, and I just have to go in every day and make polite conversation with people that I don't want to talk to, you know? Like, I'm sure you guys all have those people, right? Like, yeah, okay, Bob does. Bob gave me the thumbs up if you guys didn't see me. But yeah, like, I don't know, there's people that, like, the guy that always wants to tell you what he made for dinner last night, like, this guy is always like, oh, Ben, you know, I made the best chili the other night, should have had some. You know, I tell you, the secret is, you put a little hot sauce in there, you put a little molasses, you put a little cayenne pepper, so the secret's the recipe. Like, okay, that's, why are you telling me about this? Or like at The Office conspiracy theorist, does any of you guys have one of those? The guy's like, hey man, you know we didn't land on the moon, right? We don't have that technology. They faked that whole thing. Like, it's so crazy what those people believe in. And I don't want to make it sound like I don't believe in any conspiracy theories, right? Like, I think some of them cold water. Like, I really believe that the government puts a chemical in the water supply that makes women not want to have sex with me. Only possible explanation. But most of them though are just totally like batshit insane, right? Like, have you heard the one about the $20 bill? And if you fold it a certain way, you can see the Twin Towers like smoking. Have you guys heard about that one? Yeah. No, it's a real thing. People believe that if you fold a $20 bill in the right way, it's like you could see like it was a premonition, and this is going to happen in the future. Like, people believe that that's real, and it's the craziest thing to me, because do they even think about like how many people would have had to have been involved to make it happen? How far in advance they would have had to have planned that whole thing? Like, there was an Illuminati meeting, and they're setting the whole thing up, and the leader of the Illuminati is just like, all right, everything sounds good to me. We got it all set up. Those things are going down. Anybody have anything else they want to add? And then like weird Jim's hand shoots up from the back of the room, and he's like, do you guys read Mad Magazine? What does that have to do with what we're talking about here, Jim? Well, you know how on the back of the magazine they have the picture, and if you fold it, it looks like another picture? Yes, Jim, we know about that. I want to do that, but with this. What? You know, foreshadowing, like in Breaking Bad. And if you guys don't think the Illuminati had Breaking Bad years before we did, you need to wake up. And the leader of the Illuminati hears this and just goes, God damn it, Jim. That is brilliant. Get the Treasury on the phone. We're going to mint these things up. Toot sweet. It's crazy. I don't know. So the Office conspiracy theorists, guy I don't like to talk to. Also, people that want to talk politics. I don't want to talk politics with people at work. I don't want to find out that somebody I work with is a Trump supporter, you know? Like, I would be mortified. Like, I hope there aren't any here. Just because I'm going to talk about him in a bad way. It's crazy that people support that guy, and the reason they give, I feel like, is the worst reason in the world. I hear people all the time, like the biggest thing I hear is, oh man, I like Trump because he speaks his mind. He's honest, and I like that. As if it doesn't matter that what's on his mind is horrific. They just like the fact that he's honest about it. Like, it's crazy. That's like if I were talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, yeah, you know, that Jeffrey Dahmer was a real monster. And my friend goes, yeah, well, you know, he wasn't afraid to follow his dreams. You gotta admire that about the guy. What? That's crazy. It's just, or like, I don't want to find out that somebody's a gun nut, you know, and they have like an arsenal at home, and that those guys also like, it's a guy who loves his guns, but he opposes gay marriage, and he thinks they should like repeal that because it's an affront to his religion or something. Like, that guy doesn't make sense to me either, because if he was smart, he would realize that gay marriage becoming legal just means he's one step closer to getting to marry his rifle, and that's what he really wants. You know, like, think about what this guy wants is, he wants to have on the back windshield of his car a stick figure of him, a little sticker, a rifle sticker, 2 little handgun stickers. I think it's an apt comparison, man. Guns are like kids. The more a person has, the less likely they should be allowed to have any at all. I think that's a good rule to live by. Yeah. So yeah, just most people at my job, I don't like them, man. And I think about things I could do instead of my job, you know, to like get out of the office life. And I think I've had some good ideas. Like recently I took an Uber ride for the first time, and I was like, this is cool. I could become an Uber driver. Bob seems to be into it. And I'm talking to the driver, and it was a nice conversation. I'm talking to him, and I learned that he's 43 years old. He worked in a hospital by day. He was doing the Uber thing to pay off med school bills. And the thing that I latched onto was that he said he was 43 years old because he looked super young. So I was like, man, what's your secret? How do you maintain that youthful appearance? And he told me, you know, I'll tell you, but most people don't believe me. You know, I learned this in the hospital. Most people don't believe me. Every morning, I take Pepto-Bismol and I put it all over my face. And a lot of you guys are looking at me like, that's not weird. Like, you're just like, okay, what? So, yeah, Pepto-Bismol. That's weird. He puts Pepto-Bismol on his face, you guys. And I thought, wow, this is amazing. I just met a real-life version of a one weird trick doctors don't want you to know ad from the internet. And it's really exciting because I know that I'm gonna be really close to meeting hot singles in my area. So, yeah. I am looking forward to that. So, all right, maybe not Uber. I thought like I could become a dating coach. I think I have some good advice for single guys. Any of you? Everybody's with somebody? I'm the only single guy here. Oh shit, man. Well, hey, single guy that's on stage right now giving the advice. Take this advice to heart. Never send a woman a dick pic until she's seen it in real life. Because Tom Cruise might look like he's 6 feet tall in Mission Impossible, but he's only 5'4" in real life, you know what I mean? Like, you want to set the bar low. Alright, based on that reaction, I feel like maybe that's not the best career path for me. I'll tell you guys one more idea. This is the one that I really think is going to be the thing that gets me out of the office, on the gravy train, going to retire. Here it is. It's an invention, okay? And what it is it's a giant, wide-brimmed black hat to wear at funerals. And it's called the sombrero. I'm gonna be at the office forever, aren't I? I'm never gonna get out of that job. Ah, man, it's the worst. Like, I think mostly I've complained about other people, right? But sometimes I'm the douchebag at the office, right? Like, I'll tell you a story about when I first started there. I was like a month into my job, and I used to have to work really closely with this woman named Karen. And Karen had been there for forever, like a decade. And one day they called a meeting, and they said, you know, this process that you guys do together, we're changing it all up. It's gonna be great, a lot more efficient, awesome. Which is great, except Karen had called out sick that day. So now I have to be the guy who's been there for a month to tell this woman who's been working there for a decade, all right, things are gonna be changing around here. Don't worry, I can answer any question you have, we're gonna get through this together, I'll train you, it's gonna be fine. Like, I was mortified by having to tell this woman this, right? I'm like, God, I'm gonna look like such a douchebag. And so I'm dreading the moment that she comes back and I have to explain this to her. A couple days go by, I'm like sweating bullets, and they call another meeting. I'm like, okay, how are they gonna make this worse for me now? So I go into this other meeting, and they let us know that Karen had died the day before. Yeah, it's a 100% true story. My reaction was, woo! Boy, that's a relief. I dodged a major bullet here. And possible opportunity to sell some sombreros. This could be good for me. Yeah, so I'm not always the nice guy or the good guy, man. But, you know, I did recently get a promotion at my job. Thank you. It's not I don't say that for pity applause. It really happened. I really did get a promotion, because even though I don't like my job, I still want to do well at it, you know? Like, even if I worked at a gas station, I'm not going to sell beer to the guy who's clearly just 3 kids stacked inside of a trench coat, you know? Like, so, the promotion is great, but the thing that sucked about it is that I had to train my replacement. And I don't know if you guys have ever had to look over someone's shoulder and guide them through using a computer when they're not good at using a computer. Has anybody ever experienced this? It's torturous, right? Like, oh, God, I feel like I'm a student driving instructor, except I don't have my own steering wheel or brake, and I just have to like hang onto the oh shit bar and hope the guy doesn't run us off the road and kill us. Like, it's just, I have to stand over this guy's shoulder and watch him and guide him and say, okay, you gotta maximize this window, but you can't use the maximize button, so you gotta click and drag. No, you gotta you click and drag it. No, you gotta click and, just drag it. No, you know how, no, just, the corner of the window, you just drag it. You know how the mouse goes, Just do the part and drag, and just drag it. And just, no, on the corner of the window, just drag. Put the mouse on the corner and drag it, and just drag. No, just drag. Yeah, the corner of the no, not that corner, not where the X is. No, don't put the X. Oh. And as tears of blood were starting to pour out of my eyes, I had an epiphany, and I realized, oh my God, this is how women feel when I'm trying to unhook their bra. So I apologize, ladies. All right, I think you guys have heard just about enough of me. Are you guys ready to get this show going? All right, cool. Your first comic coming to the stage, he's a good friend of mine. We perform regularly together here. He's a very funny guy. He's somewhere in the audience. He's ready to come on stage. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for the very funny Mr. Stu Goldstein.
Hi. Bob. So on the ride over here tonight, I stopped at a red light. I looked around, and the pickup truck that was painted all in camouflage was the first thing I noticed. So, like all comedians, I'm gonna just start telling you things about myself. I consider hyperbole to be the greatest word that mankind has ever known. I was born with the power of telekinesis. It's true. If I think about an object long enough, eventually someone comes along and moves it for me. And I like to believe that I think outside the box. And I consider that the reason why I'm such a crappy mime. And I'm also an extreme introvert. And as an introvert, I don't get to have sex very often. I try not to dwell on it, but it's been 3 years, 9 months, 16 days, 12 hours, 47 minutes, and 13 seconds. 14 seconds. 15 seconds. So, weird side effect of not having sex in a while is that I have completely forgotten how to ride a bicycle. I mean, it's okay, there's a silver lining. I've gotten really good at riding a unicycle. But I can only do that for like 2 minutes at a time. 5 minutes if I'm thinking about baseball. So I'm sure you've guessed by now, yeah, this guy's single. And as the years have gone on, I've found my standards have lessened. I now no longer consider having all 4 limbs to be a priority. Now, as a single man, the most disheartening thing that's ever been said to me has got to be, you know, even Hitler had a girlfriend. Yeah, no, it's rough. It really is. I wake up every morning thinking that I am someone else's creepy double that decided to stick it out with cable and not get direct TV. So, as a single man, I find that I have plenty of free time. And so I find myself on the internet a lot. And one of the things that I really like to do on the internet is I like to go to the comments section on news articles and look for the most racist comments I can find. Now, me, I'm not racist. I don't see color. To me, everyone is white. But I once came across this comment. The guy was so sure of himself, he typed it all up in capital letters. 95% of all prison rape is perpetrated by blacks. To which I had to respond, do you have a citation for this, or is this from personal experience? And were you disappointed that out of the 100 times you were raped in prison, only 5 white guys were interested in you? Now, I really like the internet because I get to do it at home. I love being at home. I just got Hulu Plus, So I now have Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Hulu Plus, and all this is bringing me closer to my main goal of enriching the world around me by never leaving the house. Netflix, I'm a Netflix shut-in, okay? I'll admit it. If I don't have anything to do for the day, I will just stay home and watch Netflix. And one of the things that I really like about them is they're so super specific with their categories. They suggested this to me once. Maybe you would like a violent Canadian revenge action thriller featuring a strong female lead with limited lower back mobility. So yeah, I watched Night of the Moose. It was pretty good. Now, with all this media, you have to be careful of spoilers. Not everyone gets to shows at the same time you do. So when you meet somebody and you find out that you both watch the same thing, you kind of have to ask questions, dance around, so you don't reveal any plot points. Which, you know, is fine. However, when something reaches a certain age, you should just be able to talk about it. 30 years. If something is older than 30 years, you should just be freely talk about it. So I know I could say this and I'm not going to ruin anything for anyone, but Rocky wins, King Kong dies, and Darth Vader is Luke's father. But, you know, every once in a while I like to play with the idea that someone is ruining something for me. A few days ago I was walking past a church and some guy comes up to me and says, "You know, Jesus died for your sins." Oh man, I'm not up to that part yet. No, it's okay. He gets resurrected. Dude, what the fuck? Thank you.
Keep it going for Stu, everybody. Stu Goldstein, man. God, that guy can Netflix and chill like no other. All right, you guys ready for your next comic? All right, next comic coming to the stage. She's a very funny lady. You can find her at all kinds of different places in the South Florida comedy scene in South Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Miss Shayna Dawn.
It's a good song. Hey, did you ever have a bad childhood? Did your parents get divorced? No? Yeah, sometimes. If I've learned anything from my parents' failed marriage, it is to completely hide who you are from the other person. Like getting married, it's like joining the witness protection program. Get a new driver's license, new last name. Just like, this is who you are now. Forget who you were before. I mean, we're smart, right? Everybody lock your phones. If there's a reason why Apple created a feature that requires the use of your fingerprint to unlock your phone, did you know the higher ups at Apple had some really freaky shit on their phone that they needed to hide? A 4-digit passcode was simply not enough. I have an app on my phone right now that lets me view available monthly rentals. Like, do you think I want my husband to know that I'm looking for new places to live right now? I hardly feel comfortable letting him know which album I just downloaded. But so, like many of you, my twin brother goes to Pompano Cheetah Strip Club on his lunch break. Right? So the first thing his wife sees when he gets home is his Pompano Cheetah Strip Club water bottle. And I'm like, you know, they get a big fight. But Sean, why don't you just throw it out, you know? Cover your tracks. He's like, you don't understand. It was a $5 bottle of water. $5, which was clearly more valuable than his marriage. Right? I hate how people use marriage as a measurement of success. Like, oh, Shayna's married, she's doing great. Shayna is not doing great. Since I got married, I stopped eating, I started smoking cigarettes, I fell into a major depression, started writing jokes about it. And it gets worse. Our health insurance skyrocketed. And, all right, I know that's a really bad reason to want to get divorced, but I also can't stand the way he breathes. The The good thing about being married, though, is that I can take my husband to dinner and fight with him in front of my parents and make their chicken parmesan as awful as they made my childhood. This is pretty bad. So cheating is weird. Because, like, it's totally okay for my husband to go get a lap dance, but, like, I'm not allowed to give one. Because, like, I want to, you know? But I think the problem is, my brother and I, we didn't have a good, like, model for marriage, you know? Like, not only were my parents, like, shitty people, they were, like, horrible at being married or loving something. And, I don't know, but, like, I found out my dad cheated on my mom because I heard him say, "I love you," into the phone. It was not my mom on the other line. But I'm proud of my mom. She kicked the housewife hard stuff. She's not snorting Oxycontin anymore. So she's taking this new drug called Subutex to deal with the withdrawals. But like, I just found out she's snorting that drug too. And like, I didn't find this out in a back alley or bathroom or like the Sick Puppies comedy show. I found this out right in the open at Town Center Mall during holiday season in front of GameStop and Sears. I mean, well, I guess if you're gonna snort a pill, it would be in front of Sears. Sears is like the back alley of Boca Raton. So she uses the microphone to send text messages because she, like, her eyes are usually half closed and she can't see the keyboard. But her speech is so slurred that Siri would have a better time translating for Chewbacca than my mom. But I feel like I gotta be nicer. You know, I feel bad. She got into a car accident last month, and I was just like, what? Oh, come on. She's just doing it for the drugs. But, like, thinking back, there's no way she could have caused that other car to drive down the wrong side of the road. I blame them for everything, you know? But I mean, you gotta think about it. Like, my mom snorted so much coke when I was in her womb that I was born with a deviated septum. But it was, I mean, she kind of made up for it because in high school she let me get my nose done, but then she kept all the Vicodin. It was painful. It's a painful part of my childhood. But no, she doesn't really do drugs. She just has a bad back. So she's doing good. Sometimes I feel like I have the opposite of ADHD. Like, people have a hard time focusing on me. And I see a lot of single people out, and I'm like, man, they look like they're having fun. Sometimes I miss it. But then I think of some of the dates I went on. Like, one of the weirdest dates I went on was when this guy tried smoking a Roxy in my car. But like, the weird thing is, I wasn't completely mortified by this. Like, I didn't think it was weird. You know, like my mom does that all the time. So, you know, I naturally roll my window down, and he looks over at me, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're letting all the drugs out." And I don't know. My mom never got mad at me when I rolled the window down, but I don't know, out of the whole experience, I think he's the one that went home telling his friends it was a bad date. Actually, my mom almost named me Roxanne, so my nickname would have been Roxy. I think they both would have liked me more. But you guys like me, right? Yeah. Stop it. So, and part of getting married is having to deal with everyone wanting to know when you're going to have children. Coincidentally, I did just take a pregnancy test before coming here. I'm not pregnant.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, I am. No, I'm not. So, yeah, people always ask me, when are you going to have kids? And I kind of feel like that's like them asking me, hey, when are you going to kill yourself? Like, as you can tell, like, I love my family and my husband. Like, I don't want to give up my life for them, you know? Like, I've seen what having a child does to an individual, and like, I'm just not ready to start snorting Oxycontin at the town center mall. Anyways, that's me, so thanks.
Keep it going for Shayna Dawn, everybody. Wow, that is, she leads a happy life. All right, guys, let's keep this show moving right along. Your next comic coming to the stage, he's a very funny man. He usually just wears a black t-shirt, but tonight he is classing it up for you folks. Give it up for the very funny Tom Neal.
I made an effort. I put one arm in one sleeve and another arm in the other. I made an effort. So, wow, just thinking, sitting over there, was Hitler's chauffeur an Uber all-less driver? I don't know, it's just a fuck. No, never mind. You had to be there. That's funny, she said. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh my God, I'm doing my job. Harold! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Slow down! Hit the brake! It's a curve! It's a curve! We can't see what's around the other end of the curve. It could be anything. It could be, hit the brakes! It could be anything. It could end. The road could end there. There could be a cliff. There could be a cliff. It could be a wall. Hit the brake, Harold. It's a curve. It's not straight. Who designed this? Okay. All right. Harold! Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, Harold. Oh no. That's our exit. We missed the exit. We missed it. Oh my God. Cut across. Cut across. Cut across! If we go and keep going safely to the next exit and get off at that exit, we can't get back ever! Cut across! Double white line! Who can? We're Americans, we can go wherever we want to go! Harold! Oh my God, Harold! Oh my God! Oh my God, Harold! Oh my God! Turn on your blinker, turn on the left blinker. Test it to see if it works. Give it about 1.5 miles just to see if it works, because there may be an emergency, we may need it. Oh my God, it's raining. Harold, it's raining. Oh my God, Harold, turn on the emergency flashers. Turn on your emergency, it's raining. Rain is an emergency. Harold, it's an emergency. It's an emergency. That flasher signals that the driver of this car is scared shitless. Stay away. I want everyone to do it. I will not be happy until this road is one big, long, wet pinball machine with blinking lights, Harold. Harold! Yeah, I came here on I-95 today. I do that a lot. I see a lot of things on I-95. Yes, I'm the Boca resident who drives to Miami. That's me. And you see silver alerts. Does everybody know what a silver alert is? Not everybody does. Not everybody sees those signs that says silver alert. Basically, it just means that some elderly person with some form of dementia has gotten the keys to a Nissan Sentra or Camry. And they are out taking it for a joyride. They are taking a Sentra for a joyride, which is a sign of dementia. For some reason, I'd never once seen silver alert, red Lamborghini, license plate. It just doesn't happen. It's a Sentra.
It's a Camry occasionally, and it's an Accord, you know, it's an Accord. Yeah, I've been thinking about that because I have a lot of time on I-95 just to do nothing and think. And my thought, my first thought, because I'm always trying to be helpful, always trying to be, I'm a people person. Am I right? I'm a people person. What's that?
You look like a people person.
Yeah. Get that prescription changed. If I look like I'm not really a people person, but yeah, I'm thinking about that silver alert thing. And first, I'm thinking, maybe, what if they stopped making Sentras and Camrys? Maybe no one would ever grab a car and there would be no more silver alerts. But then I thought, and I want you to stay with me on this one because you're drifting. Then I thought, what if, and this is going to sound weird, what if Sentras and Camrys cause dementia? What if it's the other way around? What if they cause you say, well, you have a Sentra? Buicks cause dementia. Yes, right. Yes, Buicks did cause dementia back in 1908 when they were last made. But yeah, what if they did? I mean, what if that was the causality? If it was, you know, just because I know that if I found myself in a Sentra every day on a joyride, yeah, I think I would be demented in about a week and a half. I'm not criticizing the people who have the illness, but maybe you can just solve it by getting rid of the goddamn Sentras. That's all I'm saying. You know, before I do anything else, there's a thing that professional comedians do, and it's supposedly like one of the hardest things to do. And it's called crowd work. You know what I'm talking about? When you go out, blah, 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 you with the crowd and all that. And you know, fuck it, you know, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna do it because how hard can it be? How hard? Okay, let's try. Sir, what's your name?
Elliot.
Elliot. And what do you do?
I'm a lawyer.
He's a lawyer. Okay. How the fuck hard was that? I mean, that was, what is the fucking deal? I could do this shit all night long. Where are you from?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. I'm doing crowd work from now on. I'm just, that's my crowd work. Wonderful. Maybe we'll do some more crowd work later. What do you think? Okay. So Elliot, you ever been to Renfest?
Where?
Renfest.
Oh, yeah.
That's actually what they now call the Renaissance Festival.
Yes.
Yes, you have. What do you like about Renfest in general? The jousting? The sights and the sounds. Okay, basically, yeah, fine. Yes. Come to Renfest. We have sights and sounds for you.
Costumes.
The costumes, yeah, because, you know, it's the knights and the jousting and it's the, yeah, hey, you there, maybe have yourself a flag and a grog and a shepherd's pie, you know, yeah. Yeah, that shit is so great. The only thing I don't like about any of that shit is that it has absolutely nothing to do with the Renaissance. Nothing. Nothing fucking nothing. That shit came 400 years before the Renaissance in a completely different part of the world. The Renaissance was in Florence, in Italy, in the 14th century, and it was Da Vinci, and it was Michelangelo, and it was sculpture. It wasn't mud and shit. Why don't they call it Mud and Shit Fest? Because it was basically the Dark Ages. It's Dark Ages Fest. There was no fucking knights in shining armor in Florence. That's not what they would do. It was 400. You know, if we were that inaccurate now, it's like, yeah, oh yeah, Kim Kardashian, she was with the Beatles, wasn't she? Yeah, as a matter of fact, she was. Matter of fact, she was. John, Paul, George, and Kim. Yeah. Yeah, from Japan, that group from Japan. Nobody could get away with being 5 years off. 400 years off! And you know, the fucked up thing is, me telling you this is not gonna ruin Renfest for you. Nope. You're gonna go to Renfest and say, fuck it. I like shepherd's pie. I want me a flag and a grog. I want to see the damsels. Even though now you know that your entire life is based on a lie. It's based on a lie. You don't care. Because knowing about the difference between the Renaissance and what you're looking at involves what I like to call scientifically knowing shit. And knowing shit just won't get you anywhere. It's just the way it is. Knowing shit gets you nowhere. It doesn't make you the most popular kid in school. It doesn't make you the most popular person at where you work. Knowing shit can just get you in trouble. Knowing shit is not what we do. So stop knowing shit and go vote. So I think that the next thing that pops into my head is Harold! It's a curve! It's a hill! It's an actual, it's not flat, it's a thing! It looks like people built this thing, and we can't see what's on the other side of it. It could be gluten on the other side of this hill. I don't understand gluten, I just don't. I have tried, believe me. I get that it is just a horrible thing, but it cannot have been an evolutionary thing. There cannot have been tribes of proto-humans 50,000 whatever years ago roaming the savannah. What do you think of this? Is it organic? Organic? Yes. Is the mastodon like free range? It's like, really? That little form, that part of the human family tree dropped off. There's no way they survived, unless some of them survived and they're doing musical theater these days. But other than that, I'm a carnivore, and I'm proud of it. I mean, it's what I am. That's just what I am. So, I'll be, I don't know, let's say I'll be highfalutin about my carnivoreness, okay? It's like, okay, yes, waiter, red meat, bring me red meat. But I really need to know the blood type of the cow that I'm about to eat. Did I just say I really need to know the blood type of the cow that I'm about to eat? Because that's also a sexual preference. So, hey, if your 8-year-old kid is in the audience and is laughing, I'm not the problem. Okay. So gluten. My cat doesn't worry about gluten. He's fine. He's cool. You know what I love about my cat? And all cats, but my cat in particular. My cat, no matter how much you pressure him, no matter how much you peer pressure this cat, no matter how much you try to shame him, no matter how much you try to push him into it, my cat will not do karaoke. He will not fucking do it, and I respect him for that. Because like me, my cat will not do anything that Kim Jong-il does for entertainment. I'm sorry, we're not doing it. I'm sorry. Karaoke, that's a Japanese word that originally meant I didn't bother to learn an instrument. And so my cat and my dog, same thing. My dog, the funny thing about my dog, and I had an idea, and this is going to be a great fucking idea. This is going to be a moneymaker. If you want to invest with me on this, I'm ready to go. Another crazy idea, Elliot. This is going to be a crazy fucking idea. Go with me on this. Dog musical theater. No, I don't mean like in the audience. I mean dog musical theater, like performing. I mean, it's like children's musical theater, except dogs. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. You have your dog, and you drop it off a few times a week, and I would be the director and bring your dog in, and costumes and all that stuff, and oh, you can feel good. Hey, my dog is, learning to do stuff and mixing with other dogs, and like nobody would want to come see the show except the dog owners. But they would just be so happy. They would be, hey, Joni, you wouldn't believe this. Biscuit? He's playing Tevye. Yep. Biscuit's playing Tevye. He got the role. He's so good. He's better than all the other dogs. He really is. Yes, this is his road to Broadway or some shit. So, I'm telling you, the costumes, the choreography, dog musical theater, that's the next big thing here in Boca anyway. So tell me, Elliot, do you believe in karma? Elliot believes in karma. Yeah, karma's a cool thing. Kind of like Renaissance fairs. Karma is a cool thing. But I'm trying to figure out how it works. And we can work this out together. I can work it out right in front of you. Let's see. Okay, here's how karma would be, how things balance out and good things and bad things happen to people who do good things, And I'm trying to figure out how it would actually function. So I'm thinking, okay, let's figure that there's like two masters of the universe. That's two because they can have a conversation. And they're looking down and it's like, hey man, I've got like 6 spiral galaxies over in this quadrant, and I've got those things floating around. And we've got like a supermassive black hole here. We've got some dark matter to move over into the other quadrant. We've got 3,000 million billion planets circling around the Andromeda galaxy and the other guy. Wait a minute, man! Hold it! Stop all that shit, man! Why? What's the matter? We got to move this shit. No, man! What's the problem, man? Steve is having a problem on Earth, man. Steve, man. Steve, you all right, man? But we got galaxies. Hey, man, I know, man. Hey, fuck you, man. Somebody cut off Steve on I-95. Steve, you all right, man? Hey, Steve, man. We're here for you, man. It's like, look, we really... Hey, fuck that galaxy shit. This shit's got to make sense to my buddy Steve. You okay, man? I saw the guy who did it to you. He's driving a white van? Yeah. He used to go to school with you, man. Yeah. We're going to fuck him up for you, man. We're going to fuck that guy up. We're going to fuck him so bad, Steve. I know, it feels bad to you right now, man. But his life is going to be shit. Hey, wherever you are in that van, man, we're coming for you, man. Yeah, but what about, we've got these nebular clusters. Fuck your nebular clusters! This shit has to make sense to Steve. We have found the center of the universe, and it is Steve. You still believe in karma? Yeah. I guess I sort of don't. Well, I'm still thinking about the dog musical theater. So I'm really happy that you guys came out here tonight. Just give a big round of applause to everyone that you've seen so far. Rebecca, Stu, Ben, Shayna, and you'll now catch our next comedian, and maybe karma will take over and something bad will happen to me and something really great will happen to her. Let's hope so, and thank you very much. Bye.
Give a go for Tom Neal, everybody. Tom Neal, man. I'm actually going to Mud and Shit Dark Ages Fest tomorrow, and he made me really excited for it. I got this all twisted up. All right. Here we go. I'm trying to... Jesus, what the hell did he... What kind of karma do I have to deserve this? All right, are you guys ready to keep the show going? All right. Your next comic coming to the stage is a good friend of mine. She's a triple threat. She acts, she sings. She's about to do some comedy for you guys. Please give it up for Rebecca Salas.
Hey! Oh man, it's been so long since I've had sex. I'm getting ready to launch a Go Fuck Me campaign. I mean, it's not like I'm picky or anything. My dating profile just says obsessive, neurotic vegan with body dysmorphia, seeks kind, patient man, preferably Jewish, who can cook without butter. Is that so difficult? I don't understand. I mean, the last time I got asked on a date was when a guy on the street yelled out to me, "Ooh, girl, I want to wear you like a pair of earmuffs." That walk of shame out of his cardboard box the next morning was super embarrassing. I did once meet this great guy through mutual friends. We spent a lot of time together. I even met his parents, but he was never making a move. And then I realized all he wanted to do when we hung out was Netflix and decorate. So, I guess that's what happens when all your friends are gay guys. Right, guys? I spend so much time with gay people that I actually tried being a lesbian for a week. So, I hooked up with this girl. After she got what she wanted, she didn't return any of my calls or texts. So I was like, great, even the women that I date are total dicks. Anyone else out there single? I know someone asked before and there was like, right, there you go, thank you. So maybe this is just me being hypersensitive, but don't you get tired of people asking you why you're single?
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what are you supposed to say? Well, my parents got divorced when I was 4 and my dad left us, so I have some pretty significant rejection and abandonment issues. Really damaged my self-esteem, so I tend to attract men who are either physically or emotionally unavailable, who reinforce my insecurities by ultimately rejecting me. So, I've created a self-fulfilling prophecy in which I've convinced myself that I'm unlovable and unworthy of love, and that I'm never gonna get married or have children, and I'm gonna die alone. But I probably just haven't met the right person yet. Does anyone else get panic attacks in the grocery store, or is that just me? It's just me? So, nobody else has had a complete meltdown in aisle 6 because you have no idea what to buy? Or used a box of gluten-free cereal to hide all of the frozen meals in your cart so people don't know that you don't know how to cook? No one else does that? Or grab a really big bunch of bananas so people think you have a family but then actually only purchase one of them? Nobody else does that? So nobody else leaves the grocery store with nothing and gets in their car and cries about being a total loser? So wait. So I'm the only one who gets home from the grocery store and wonders why I'm starving and ponders my entire life's existence? It's just me? Alright, it's just me. Just checking. So I was really lucky growing up because my best friend lived right down the street from me. So we got to do everything together, lots of play dates and sleepovers. I would sleep over at her house, she would sleep over at my house. Then her dad started sleeping over at my house. And then my dad started sleeping over at her house. True story. So after that, all of our sleepovers were dictated by the custody agreement. It's a true story, but honestly, my parents had the most convenient divorce ever because they swapped spouses with our neighbors. So not a lot changed for us kids. Plus, block parties doubled as family reunions. Super convenient. I was a really sensitive kid, and my mom wasn't so nurturing. I used to cry a lot, and she would say, "Oh, you'll be fine in 5 minutes." Mom, it's been 30 years. My sister and I are best friends, but also biggest rivals. The day my parents brought me home from the hospital, she took one look at me, said, "I don't like her," and pushed me off the bed. Swear. But, I mean, luckily there was no permanent damage. I mean, I'm sure it's not her fault that I'm 2 feet shorter than everyone else in my family. I don't blame her for it. Interesting fact about me, I was born feet first. So my body developed backwards. My ass grew in before my boobs. Kept waiting for those boobs to come in, but instead I got a second serving of ass. I've been rejected so much by men that even at my last gynecologist appointment, the doctor had a violent sneezing fit in the middle of my exam. So I'm like, great, how's a normal guy gonna react down there if a vagina expert is allergic to me? But hey, gentlemen, if any of you might be interested, you bring the wine, I'll bring the Claritin. That's my time, guys. Thank you.
Keep it going for Rebecca Salas, everybody. I feel like there's a pattern that emerges as you watch a comedy show and people talk about their parents. I don't know, some kind of thread. Could be just me, maybe my own observation. I don't know. All right, you guys ready for your next comic coming to the stage? This next guy, he's a good buddy of mine. He's very funny. He's big, he's beefy, he's beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Eddie Sage.
Oh, we got problems, guys. We got big problems in this country, everybody. It's set up against you. The deck is stacked. You're all fucked. You think I'm joking? I just started watching the show Billions. I am all fucked up now. Insider trading, money markets, all of this shit that I don't understand and I never will. It's bullshit, man. I work at Bloomingdale's. You know how many money markets I'm involved in? 1, men's denim. That's it. End of market. That's all I understand. And it's just getting to a point where it's too much. It's too much for me. And like, I don't understand how, if I could go back in time, how do I get into that seat where I'm trading stocks and I'm doing shit and I know a congressman? And the way you do it, let me just explain it to you people, okay? Because you all fucked up. By being here, I know you fucked up. You should be at an event, you should be wearing a tuxedo, and none of you, anyone wearing a tuxedo? Yeah, me neither. I can't even afford a tuxedo. I can't even rent a tuxedo. Men's denim. That's it. End of wardrobe. This is what you gotta do. Let me explain it to you guys. You're born, and then this is the biggest key right here, with a lot of money. If you weren't born with a lot of money, you are already way behind. Be white too. If you could be white, that is also a huge leg up. So just stay with me. White, a lot of money, and then on top of that, you need like an arrogant, egotistical yet insecure father, like a really fucked up guy who like never made the varsity basketball team, and he's just pissed and he's dumping all his insecurities into you so that he puts you in like these expensive preparatory schools like St. Vincent's Preparatory School for Young Boys, and you go there, okay, you have to get a 4.0. Get a 4.0, that's key, all right? Get the 4.0. Then you're gonna want to apply to some big money schools. Ivy League. Ivy League, people. If it's not Ivy League, go fuck yourself, seriously. Don't give me this fucking FSU shit. You'll be working for me. Men's denim, trust me. All right? I got a kid who works for me, he's got 2 bachelor's degrees. I swear, I dropped out of DeSales University. Ever heard of it? Exactly. Dude works for me. And he's like, yeah, in my socio... I'm like, shut up and fold shirts, dumbass. You're an idiot. And he is. He's stupid. Where was I? Okay, so go, and then what you got to do is your dad, he's got to have to know somebody on their admissions board. If you don't know somebody on the admissions board, you get waitlisted. That's the way of saying, like, you're smart, but you're not rich enough, right? You could have made it, but you didn't make any donations, so you didn't get in. So then after that, you go to, like, Yale or some other whatever. That's the only Ivy League school I know, but I bet there's a bunch that you could apply to. And then you get out of there, you go to law school, and then from law school, that I don't know where from law school to the show Billions, where that gap is, but I'm pretty sure like you just start doing illegal shit behind closed doors with like a bunch of guys laughing their asses off like, fucking Lexapro. And then, that's like the name of a thing that you trade, I think. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But, and then, when that's all completed, you end up as this guy who comes into my store. Yo, what's up, man? You got this in like an XL. Anyway, you ever played Boca Municipal? The place is a dog track. But I went up there with Steve Dixon, laid a skins beatdown on this guy. I mean, the way he reads greens is like the way he reads the market. I mean, this guy. It's like back in 06 when he traded on Lexapro. He shorted that stock thinking it wasn't going to make it out of clinical trials. He got fucked in the market. He was a noob then. He's a noob then. You get this in an XL? Yeah, no, you got this in an XL? Dude, fuck, man, I got to go. And that's what you sound like. I don't even know what any of that stuff means. I understand that like skins is like some golf game you play. I was a pretty good golfer when I was younger. But again, it doesn't mean anything unless you have the money to back it up. So, that being said, right. So, and all of this feeds into a ridiculous fucking consumeristic society, right? Where the corporations are trying to drive your little asses into the ground. Buy this belt or you're a faggot. Like that's America. Brush your teeth with this or you'll never get laid. That is what America teaches you. It's this consumeristic thing. And I have all these people in front of me every single day. I'm like, this guy's a retard and he's worth like 8 figures. How did this happen? And it's just because they played the game and they played it better than me, right? And then we get into this consumeristic thing where this belt that I'm wearing could feed a small nation. It could for like a year, but I don't give a shit because it looks cooler on me. Sorry, Malik, or whatever your name is. You don't get the belt. I get the belt because I live in America. It's true. I got it on sale. Malik doesn't even know what sales are. He's just like, I want food. I've been eating mud because my stomach is full. Whatever. I don't know how it works. I just know it's fucked up. I'm not supposed to have this. That's the point, guys. I don't know what I'm exactly saying. I'm saying don't buy this belt. It's a piece of shit. It's overpriced because it has a lot of vowels in the name, and that's it. And I worked in this retail thing for a while. I think it's messing with my head. I think it's having an effect on the way that I like see the world. But I'm gonna take it on a more positive note. So here's what I've realized, right? Is that within the retail thing, there is one cool thing, and it's human-to-human interaction, right? So clerking, that sucks. That's when you go into Macy's and there's just like a pissed off looking dude there, and he rings up your shit. You're like, do you have any coupons? He's like, yeah, fucking coupons, 20%. He scans it. But I used to work in Times Square. And in Times Square, they can't keep any merchandise out on the floor because you'll steal it. And that's the answer. So what we did, we had all these people. I worked for Skechers. So they would come in, they try on the shoe, you gotta run in the back, and you gotta bring it back out. And what I realized is people wanted the New York experience, right? They didn't want to buy shit from me because I'm from Delaware. And like, they kind of just knew that I wasn't like an asshole enough to work in Times Square. And this guy that I worked with, his name was Raheem. Raheem was from the Bronx, and Raheem is what you would consider like just an HR nightmare. He was an absolute nightmare if you were like a human resources manager. But he was really effective in Times Square because people ate it up. So for instance, like a girl would walk in, we used to sell these things that were called Skechers Plus 3s, which were like boots, but with a heel hidden in the back of the boot. So I would attempt to sell it like, yeah, I mean, it makes you a little bit taller and they're comfortable and I could get you a size if you'd like. And Raheem would sell the same item like this. Yo, guys, I see you up here standing. I see you could be propped up a little bit. I can see you right now. You're out at the club. You're propped up. The booty is popping. The booty's like right up in my face like planet Mars. Everybody's mugging. I'm circling you like a shark. Baby, what size you wear? I'm gonna go get you some shoes. And they loved it. They bought them all the time. And he passed me like, yo, I'm gonna swipe that booty like a debit card, son. And they ate it up every single time. He would go, yo man, that shoe you're wearing is hard as a rock, son. It's hard as a rock. Let me tell you, would you rather have a hot dog or a lobster? Because you're wearing a hot dog and I got the lobster. You stay right there, my man. He was killing it. So from that point forward, I just pretended to be black. My sales went through the roof. Because it does make sense. Like if you went to France right now, if we all went to France and we went into a small boutique, we'd want that, like a guy with like a cigarette and like a beret, like, welcome to France. I have a bunch of French shit for you. It's very expensive. You cannot pronounce it. If we went in and the guy was just like, hey, yo, what's up? You want like fucking scarf or something? Yo, where you from, Jersey? You wouldn't want to buy it, you know what I mean? You'd be like, this is not authentic. So Raheem was authentic, if nothing else. But I grew up in Delaware. I didn't grow up in New York City. I grew up kind of privileged. I could have taken that route that I was talking about earlier. That was right in front of me. It was. I could have just done that. My dad didn't know a congressman, but like we could have done it somehow. But no, I just decided to fuck it up. That was my thing. I was like, there's no edge to my life, you know? I don't have any struggle, so I like deliberately shit on my family, like spit in all of my opportunity, and like put myself as low down as I possibly could, so that like 10 years from now I'd be like, oh man, the struggle was real. Struggle was real, man. I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I said, fuck the spoon. I threw it in the dumpster, and then I worked my whole life to get that spoon back. That's literally what I did. I still haven't found it, and my parents are like, you're not getting it back. Stop calling us. We don't want to see you. Because people have real problems. People have real problems when they grow up. Like, Mom, I need money for books. I'm falling behind the rest of my class because I can't study. Or, Mom, I need new shoes. There's holes in my shoes, and I walk to school every day. I would come home from a day of high school like, Mom, you bought single stuffed Oreos. What the fuck is wrong with you? That's why they make double stuff. There's double the stuff. Are you retarded? Go back to college. I'm going up to my room to smoke pot and masturbate. And that was it. That was it. Until I attended DeSales University, got addicted to drugs, and dropped out. Like a true American. It's America. We do Suboxone. We take painkillers and we drop out of college. And we go to South Florida. At least I did. And I have a really great family. Let me just give you an example of like how my entitlement works. Like, as a kid, even to this day, actually, I'm gonna give you a day today, all right? Every Christmas, my grandma Sally sends everybody little gifts. And for about a decade now, Grandma Sally sends me a $10 US check. A $10 check. Well, thanks for the fucking errand, Grandma. Maybe I can use that to buy a thank you card for somebody who actually got me a gift. Because Grandma Helen, everybody, sent me a $250 check. Whose funeral you think I'm going to? That's right. I'm gonna cry my little eyes out at Grandma Helen's funeral. Grandma Sally might just get a, I don't know, whatever. I don't know what you, MassCard? Is that fucked up? You're all looking at me like, this guy hates his grandmother. He's a sociopath. $10 seems kind of nice to me. I don't know. It's $10. I don't know. To me, it's just not worth the drive to. I'm wondering if my grandmother balances her books every year and is like, well, what? Why didn't Eddie cash the $10 check? Is he all right? I mean, that's $10. She once gave me a McDonald's gift card. Swear to God, for like $6. Thanks for. I guess when you do a lot of drugs growing up, you get McDonald's gift cards, like things with no real monetary value. No, I don't have any money, man, but I got a $6 McDonald's gift card. Hook it up. So I went to, I came down to South Florida to go to rehab. For the record, I have been sober for 2.5 years. Yes. It does make me better than the majority of you. I'm not going to say everyone, but most of you. I'm a little bit stronger-willed, a little bit more spiritual. But I went to this place down here, and I don't know if any of you have ever been to rehab. I'm not sure. Raise your hands if you've ever been to rehab. I'm just kidding. But if you've never been, I really suggest getting a chronic drug problem and checking out rehab, because it is a really good time. You get some massage therapy, you get some group counseling, and the best part of going to rehab, if you're a drug addict, the best part is that the first week you're in rehab, you get to do more drugs than you have ever heard of in your life. Seriously, here's Suboxone for the withdrawal. Here's phenobarbital, that's for the sweats. Here's some Librium, that's going to calm you down. Here's some acid for... No, I brought the acid in with me. I snuck that in my shoe. But the point remains that the nurses in rehab, they're more reliable than any drug dealer I ever met in my entire life. If you don't go, they will come find you and give you your drugs. Like, Eddie, you didn't come through this morning, and we just want to see a little bit more consistency from you, man. So if you could just make sure you're here on time, we would really appreciate. Here's your dose, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning. It was fantastic. Fucking up. I am so high. You guys feeling this? And what I realized when I'm in rehab is that, like, when you are totally batshit crazy, your expectations in life drop dramatically. People don't expect shit from you when you've set the bar about as low as it can go. Like, my mother, like, I could do anything, and my mom's like, that's amazing! You made your bed? You couldn't do that 5 years ago, you big dummy! Because you loved drugs, didn't you? You did, you loved drugs. You can't stop doing them. Way to make your bed, Eddie. You're so good. I won't give you any money. Not giving you any money, but I love you. And what I think, though, is not drug addiction, but if you could choose your own form of crazy, that would be really great. What I would do is, there's a couple things that I think would make my life easier. One, what if I pretended, or at least believed, that no matter what I was doing, no matter where I was, everyone owed me money, right? So I would see my grandmother and be like, hey, Grandma, so good to see you. Look, I brought in the mail. I left it on the fridge, and I left the sandwich for Grandpa. It was really good to see you, okay? I love you. Oh, and Grandma, whenever you get that $50 you owe me, you need to let me know, all right? Because I need that. All right. See you later. And I would just do that to everybody, no matter who it was, just convinced that they owe me money. The other thing that I think would be great is if I went around fully convinced that I was driving a car. So it doesn't matter what, I'd be at Publix, shopping for groceries, see my friend Mike, I'd hit my brakes, roll my window down. Because even in my imaginary car in my head, I have a roll-down window. I could have like a two-door Benz, but now I have like a shitty jalopy, like Chevy, roll the window down. I'm like, Mike, So good to see you. This is so weird, man. Like, I'm driving and you're walking, and then I just see you. That is so weird. Anyway, man, I'm holding up traffic. I gotta get going. Really good to see you, man. Oh, and Mike, whenever you get that $50 you owe me, you better let me know, all right? I need that shit. Get my new car. I don't know what I'm talking about. Easter's coming up, right? Easter's right around this Sunday. He is risen. That's great. Easter's not a paid holiday. What the fuck is that? We're closed, but I'm not getting paid on Easter. I get paid on Christmas. I get paid on Thanksgiving, but I don't get paid on Easter. Christmas, the dude was just born. On Easter, he rose from the fucking dead. If that's not a paid holiday, I don't know what is. Like, get with it. And what I've learned, just a little tangent on Easter for the rest of you, is that my times have changed, haven't they? Like, 2,000 years ago, Jesus rose from the dead, and everyone was like, great, that's fantastic. Let's start a national, awesome religion that'll carry on for thousands of years about this. But today, if Jesus rose from the dead, double tap headshot. Double tap headshot. That's what movies have taught me, is that if Jesus rises from the dead, kill that motherfucker. Kill him again. But this time, do it right. Zombies. I don't know if you guys ever, it's a zombie joke. Watch some movies, guys. So, we're winding down now. We're winding down. Don't worry. I'm almost done. But actually, when my parents were down here, we went during Lent, we went to church. I haven't been to church in a really long time. I don't know if you could tell, but I think I needed it. But I went in there, and I gotta say, it was boring. I mean, even Jesus was up there napping, like. Too soon? What? And what the priest was saying is that beyond rising from the dead, Jesus performed all of these incredible miracles, okay? He walked on water. He turned water into wine. Very talented with water, Jesus. He was like the David Blaine of Bethlehem, like the Chris Angel of Nazareth. This guy was amazing. And what I was thinking is, because of the type of person that I am, I would love to go back in time and just be the apostle that was totally unimpressed with all of Jesus' shit, right? So we'd be at the wedding, Jesus turns the water into wine, everyone's happy. I'd grab a glass like, Merlot? Really, Jesus? With fish? You thought that would be a good pairing? Oh, you know what, I'm just gonna have a glass of water. Oh, wait. Thanks to Jesus, all we have is this dry-ass Merlot. Well, thanks a lot, Jesus. Oh, and Jesus, whenever you get that $50 you owe me, you better let me know, all right? I need that shit. Thank you, guys. My name is Eddie Sage. Thank you for having me out tonight. Give it up for all your comedians.
Keep it going for Eddie Sage, you guys. My God. What a life he's led. Man.